Hi there. So it's that time again. Let's go on a test drive. We just finished this truck and it's got some really interesting details to show off to you that you haven't actually seen before on an Icon. So let's do this. This is ICON FJ44 number 91. Man, we need a bigger shop. We're totally out of space. It's getting hard to even drive in and out of here. So we built this truck for a client who lives up in Canada, the eastern side, where they really mean cold when they say cold. And early on in our discussions with him, he said, you know, I've run into a few elk and other large four-legged things over the years on the remote roads, and I just don't want to do that ever again. So with his help, we did a lot of research and we came up with this really cool system called FLIR, F-L-I-R. It was originally designed for military applications, and then they recently started selling it to retail. But it's like I'm not sure if it's licensed or what the deal is, but we had to jump through a few hoops to get it. But it's super trick. So at night, it has a night vision camera and monitor system, and it literally picks up body heat, and like it'll put a cool rectangle around whatever living thingamajigger that you can't see with your headlights and track it. So it's really kind of neat. First it seemed kind of silly. Once the guy told us the story, it really made perfect sense. Definitely something that he's really going to be able to use. This truck's finished in our Rocky Mountain gray color, one of my personal favorites. It's actually the original ICON FJ color. We're running the higher output 5.7 LS, Vortec truck intake and injectors, mechanical driven fan and fan clutch, and the Vortec application Fiat system, or front engine accessory drive. For a tranny in this one, we're running the AX15 5-speed, and then we're running a Highlander geared 3.5 low range Atlas 2 twin stick part-time four-wheel drive transfer case. And then, as with all Icons, the miraculous Tom Lee provides our precise steering box, and then we're running you know, air conditioning and all the stuff you usually see in our rigs. It's finished in the Rocky Mountain gray color, one of my favorites, and actually the first color we ever did with Icon. This truck's 6-passenger setup with the rear jump seats. We have the chill seating option for the textile option on the seats, console, and floor mats, and then carbon fiber front heaters. Let's see, we've got locking differentials, LED lighting front and rear, fire extinguisher option, the 3.5 Highlander Atlas 2 transfer case, Ace & Warner AX15 5-speed manual trans, and our higher performance of our 5.7 LS generation motors. Other things, let's see, we got a full audio package with iPod, you know, the iDevice interface stuff, cable, 3 power ports, amp and bass, block heater, full roll cage. The roll cage is actually fluted through the dash down behind the A-pillar, so you don't have to remove your foot to get in and out of the darn thing, which is a common issue with the way people do cages in 40s. And then that cage is braced all the way through to the chassis, which is kind of cool. We're also running the Icon Sport brakes, which denotes the 6-piston front calipers and 4-piston rear, done by our friends at StopTech. And we're running the Sport pedals, which is just what we call our cool Cnc brake clutch and gas pedals. This truck's feeling really good. This truck really came a long way. The client owned the truck up in Canada, and it was just a bucket of red dust. It was so hammered it wasn't even funny. So that made for a couple extra challenges for us, but we got it done and beat it into compliance. You'll notice the front fender mounted turn signals. That's the stock FJ40 1960s style. I really don't remember if that was done as a personal preference or if that's a regulatory issue in Canada, but either way, those are brand new old stock lights that we gutted and powder coated and then upgraded to light emitting diodes in the filament replacement. Truck's really set up nice. I'm really pleased with it. As you can see, we're running the BF Goodrich all-terrains on the black rock aluminum wheels. Here you see the Fox Racing coilover shock with Eibach coils, some stainless plumbing, and there's the polyurea coating we do on the underside and detail. Here in the front you'll see the Vision X lights, LED truck light headlights, the Warren Wench, and then that funky FLIR camera system. And before anyone chews my butt about where I put it, man, they're hyper specific on where you can put that in relation to ground level. I originally wanted to bury it in the grill so you didn't even see it, but there you go. Here's the optional roof rack and ladder. As you saw in some of the other footage, that's a removable assembly done with C clamps and sandwich plates. There's the back bumper doing its thing on those slider pins, pulled to return. Those are fluted and greased. Quick tour of the interior. Again, there's the sport brakes, there's the ID tag, front seats, Mercedes OEM vinyl with the Chilowich inserts and then upgraded foam, of course. There's our steering wheel with the recent addition spun pewter lizard. And some better footage of that cage I was trying to describe earlier. It's kind of a chain reaction of updates when we do that because we have to relocate those anodized aluminum AC vents and on and on and on. A bunch of things occur when we do the cages. They take a fair amount of time to craft, but in the end they're pretty cool. They work out nice. We do grab handles and lateral braces. When we delete the Sub-Zero fridge latch on the dash, we replace that with these little Heim couplers to the top of the windshield frame. So that helps keep that windshield frame rigid, as did our bottom latch in our standard app. The Learjet sun visors are then moved back and mounted on the cage so they're independent of the front windshield frame. Here are the CNC clamps that allow for you to remove and reinstall that roof rack, and then there's rubber sandwich plates and block-off fittings if you put the soft top back on. There's the Viking recovery gear bag with all the winch goodies you need. In this particular truck, it's also stuffed with the power tank stuff. There you see the power tank in the top of frame. That power tank is compressed CO2, and it's for rapid tire inflation and has other utilities like running air tools. In the cargo area on this truck, we have the X-Jack from ARB that fills up with exhaust gases and is really helpful on uneven terrain. There's some more of our LED aircraft lights for interior lighting. And there's also a jack under hood, which I'll show you in a bit, that is a recent update that we've done. Speaking of engine updates, one of the favorite I've done thus far is this Volant intake system. It's really nice, keeps your element nice and dry and away from debris and such, and quiets down the intake noise a fair bit. As I'd mentioned earlier, this is the 5.7 iteration of the LS motor with Vortec peripherals. There's the catch cannon vent for the Atlas and the differentials. There's the ECU. And then there is that jack that I was talking about. We make a custom clamp that mounts independent of the body on the shock tower to chassis, so you don't have to hear the bugger rattle. Man, I hate rattles. As always, thank you so much for taking time to watch my videos. Take care.